So now I will show you this another door feature which is related to empty openings. See, the empty openings can be used to create just an opening in the wall, which can, in our case, leads opening from this lobby to living room or staircase area, or from living to dining area. So I just need the puncture in the wall. I don't need any door or shutter and all such things. There are two possibilities for this. Let's talk about the first option. So I'm just going to go and work back to my door tool. In the door tool, all the settings which probably you are looking forward to create the puncture, you should try to first of all check them. Now the simple task, if in case you expect that your door which you insert, only the panel part or the shutter which you are getting this in this particular display, if you just want to omit that and you want to keep the frame as it is, there is one possibility that in your door leaf setting you can just directly go and try to use there's an empty option. So what will happen, you can see now that there's no shutter in between, but the frame is there. But then that frame maybe not be in your favor, so you have to be a little bit careful about these things. So if you just check out that you for your frame, now it shows that it's a simple rivet frame, but instead of that, if you just go for block option, here the frame how it appears. Okay, and then definitely if you see that my frame thickness is equal to wall thickness, even this will do. And then the thickness of the frame you can control. Maybe 75 is too high, so if you just say it will be double ply 18 ply if you want to use, so I'll just go for 40 for a while. Now, apart from this, the settings which are shown over here in this, the outer and inner casing is actually shown. So if you're not interested for some reason in the casing part, you can just go and try to scroll down, and here you can see in this. Obviously, you can understand now that I'm using this second rollout hinge door settings because my door was a hinge door. And then from the big button which I've clicked, and then the drop down list, you can see the casing outside, casing inside. These are the two separate pages. If you just want to on off them, then fixtures and fittings. And here you can just say outer and inner casing you want to remove. So this is what in the end product will be. Fine. Now let's try to place this. So at the time of placing, you should always check the geometry method, which should be in your favor. So now if I just go and stay over here, you can see what kind of a puncture is getting delivered on this side. So if you want to change the geometry method, that is anchor point, and then you just stay there on the required location. If your puncture is not getting displayed, you can hit the tab key if in case your required puncture is not getting showed over here. Let's try to place this first of all, and then I'll move it because at present on the corner location it's not getting identified for some reason because there are too many overlapped elements. So let me keep it over here. I'll just press G from the keyboard and I'll flip the thing on my required side. Just click one point and that's it, because now the inner outer side, that's not going to be much difference because there's no shutter at present. So if you just I have selected this with the arrow tool, and I'll put Control D for the drag, and I'm just going to flush that with the edge of this particular column. Now if you want to see this modification in the 3D, you just select this wall and press F5 from the keyboard. You will see what kind of it's a only isolated element that wall is shown to you. Don't worry about this cutting, these are the due to the column. Okay, so this is one possibility that only selected elements can be get displayed in 3D. So what is the method for that? The method is very simple. You just have to make sure that you have to press F5 when you select the element in your 2D display, and if you press F5 you will return for selected elements to show in 3D. Remember that you can even do with the right click of the mouse, and you can even try to access that select show selection in 3D. So that's supposed to be your function key F5. So I hope you have understood the first method where you are actually using the framing also for this particular opening. Now, in case if I want to really create a simple clear puncture itself, no such frame, I am not interested for such things. So what should I do? Again, a very simple task. So just back to the door tool, make sure nothing is selected. You are just by default door settings are there. And this time, nothing but there is at the bottom of your this rollout, you can check out there is supposed to be empty opening as a button. So here I'm just going to click on the empty opening. Okay, moment I click on this empty opening, you will see the things are changed pretty. So many rollouts used to have earlier, but the things are totally trimmed down. And what you left with is just to give a particular size for the opening, and no much settings are available this time. So you can just go through this whenever you get free time. They are very simple options. I'll just try to keep this as a 2 meter, sorry, 1.1200 as my puncture, and 2100 as supposed to be my height. I'll just say okay for this. And then again, this time I'll drop it. Now remember, now this time it is getting identified in the right order. If you don't get the right direction, hit the tab key till you don't get the required wall is not getting highlighted. So now I'm going to click on this point. Again, you can remember that puncture is created. Nothing else. This time you don't have to show what is the outer side. That is the reveal side you don't have to show because this it's just an empty opening. Now if you want to get the view of these two, I've selected these two elements, press F5, and you will see this is what the end product is supposed to be. Okay, so one is supposed to be with the frame, other is supposed to be without frame. So that's supposed to be the difference between the door which you have designed with empty opening, that is the one right now at the end which we have placed, and the one which is without the shutter or panel. Okay, so the door shutter or door panel is missing. Now to return back to the full view, you can surely use the mouse right click and try to work with the option of show all, that is control F5. Okay, so now you can see I can actually see the remaining elements also. So I'll just scroll and I'll just try to go inside, so where I can get this impact of my door with the empty opening and with the framing only. So please make sure that you have followed the same thing on in your presentation and you have completed the needful things.